fellow Rotarians, presidents from all the clubs. Like I said just now, we tried to do this little attendance. It's not a roll call. So I think we have at least about 60 or 70% of our Rotarians present here today. Today is, of course, Giving Tuesday. And today is also the final day for Rotary Month, which is November. But nevertheless, as you know, Rotary TRF is the backbone of our organization, and we should continually share about TRF. And the TRF Fireside is something that the committee started this year, which we will continue to have firesides, albeit not having the real fireside in the coming months too, but on different subject matter. Today, we are so privileged to have three of our own committee members who will be sharing on the areas of TRF. But before that, I would like to invite our governor, Dato' Bindi, to say a few words and to kickstart our fireside today. Dato' Bindi, over to you, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much, PDG City. Good evening, friends. PDG City is checking on the roll call for another reason, to see who is attending and who qualifies for global grants. So do ensure your presence is noticed. Now, a very famous quote often heard: do not follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. In Rotary, there are no shortage of kind-hearted people who leave a trail of goodness which they themselves create. And this is done through our two great strengths, our Rotary clubs and our Rotary Foundation. Now, over the years, I've been privileged to witness firsthand the fruit of our outstanding work carried out as a result of global grants, which has given hope to thousands of people building their future, making lives better for generations. One example is 3 decades ago, we Rotarians made a promise to make life better for the entire world, forever eliminating polio. It has always been an ambitious goal, but it has always been a realistic one. And now, thanks to the Rotary Foundation, we are closer than ever to reaching it. So friends, you have a sound support system in our foundation for you to leave a trail of goodness. Thank you, DRFC, PDG City.
Oh, DG, you're muted.
Okay, so sorry. So friends, you have a sound support system in our foundation for you to leave a trail of goodness. Thank you, DRFC PDG City, for organizing this. And I'm grateful to the esteemed speakers for their participation today. Congratulations too to PDG Leo for making history by reaching the 1 million mark. And I saw Sunny's notice, he's tagged as the $1 million man now. And this makes you a member of the prestigious AKS Foundation Circle. Thank you to all who have contributed to the foundation thus far. Your contributions certainly will motivate the rest of us. I'm truly humbled by your generosity. Thank you and stay safe, my friends.
Thank you, PDG. Sorry, PDG. You haven't finished your year, my God.
Not so
anyway,
fast, I wish.
Not so fast. You still have got lots to go. Just to go. Okay, let's just move on. This is the program for the
good
day.
evening.
Hi, good evening. For the
Steven,
evening.
yeah.
So very quickly.
PG City, yeah, our DG Bendy.
Yes, yeah, just mute for a while. Thank you. So this is our program for the evening. Very quickly, after this, we will have all the 3 speakers who will be sharing their thoughts. And in between, we will have some videos to share with you. We'll be recognizing some Rotarians for their foundation giving. And Let's see. And these are your three speakers today. What is it in endowment by Dr. Jimmy Lim as endowment subcommittee chair, and his co-member in the subcommittee, PP Edward Koo. We will then have DGN Dr. Siva Anandan, our annual fund subcommittee chair on annual giving and the basics. And then we have PDG Leo Cheng Lim, our endowment and major gift advisor, building a legacy. So my friends, let's just view this. I'll just share the sound. Yes, my fellow Rotarians, the time is now, and is right now. I would like to call upon our endowment subcommittee chair, PDG Dr. Jimmy Lim and PP Edward Koo, for your presentation on endowment. Over to you, PDG Dr. Jimmy Lim.
Before I start, PDG, are you going to use you are going to do the screen sharing for me, or we do our own now?
Yeah, if you want me to do it for you, I can do it, or you want to share
Can
yourself?
you please do it, because both Edward and I are very nervous about touching the word called share screen.
Okay.
Because it's always let us down. So before I start, you can put it on now, but I just wanted to make a particular mention about the recent Rotary Foundation seminar at the Singapore Institute, for which three out of the four speakers were from Malaysia. That is PDG Leo, PDG City, and Les. Why I'm mentioning is because if you guys have missed that talk, the three of them actually outclassed all the rest, and they gave a world-class presentation. I've never seen that, because that seminar there which they present wasn't like here, where we are just delivering you facts. They had slides, and the way they twist it around. And so, actually Malaysia is reaching that kind of world-class presentation, and congratulations. I would like to introduce actually the talk tonight and here, and then I will let PP Edward take over with what we call part one. That is the slides that he will show. Then part two is only 3 slides, which I want to do by pitching and marketing. Why PP Edward? Was because the endowment fund over the years is now down to 2 persons, because they are so demand for the great guys from this committee. So that only me and Edward are left behind in the endowment committee. And why Edward is because I'm tired of doing the lectures. So it's called passing the buck, and Edward will take over next year if he can. So therefore, it's up to you whether after listening you want him, then I will just step back. So can we go on to the slides, PDG City, on the endowment fund? I think most of you know what the endowment fund is. Can that slide go? Yeah. most of you know what endowment fund is all about. It's a fund that we keep in perpetuity, and we do not spend it at Rotary. We use it to invest, and then the earnings come back under the share system. And do not carry on. This one is Edward's slide, so go backwards, please. So therefore, I would pass this. Do not go forward, please go backward. Yeah, stop here. And yeah, so I'll hand it over to Edward before I come back. PP Edward, your turn now.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, okay, thank you very much, PDG Jimmy. So as PDG Jimmy has just mentioned, so the endowment fund just left both of us. So it's either him or me to do the presentations. Okay, anyway, talking about the Rotary Foundations, okay, the endowment fund. So I'm sure that, you know, okay, all of us here, we are quite familiar with the foundation. So we are not going to talk anything about the history. Okay, but we want to share with you here on ways, okay, to support foundations. As you can see on the slide here, there is annual fund, polio fund, endowment fund, and term gift. Now, I'm not going to mention anything about the term gift here, okay, but I would like to share with you here, okay, on annual funds and polio funds. Okay, many of us here, so we have been giving each year. So I think it is very important for us to understand that, you know, why do we have to give every year? Now, for polio funds, okay, we are aware that Rotary Foundation has a commitment to eradicate polio, okay? And we are that close to eradicate. So we have gone that far, and billions of dollars has been spent to take us almost polio free. So there is no reason for us not to support, okay, the last 100 miles, the last miles to eradicate polio. So that is one of the reasons why we have to continue to give polio. And for annual funds, okay, what is annual fund? Why is that, you know, each year we have to give to annual funds? Annual fund has a cycle of 3 years. What we are enjoying here today, okay, our district grant as well as our global grants are funds that were raised 3 years ago, okay? Those are funds that raised 3 years ago and it come back to us today. And what we're going to raise today, okay, it will come back again 3 years. So there is a cycle of 3 years. So annual funds, in other words, okay, is to keep Rotary going, okay, actively to carry out Rotary Foundation's activities and projects for the 3 years. So we are all right, okay, for the next 3 years because we are raising funds each year, and that will go on and on. However, now next slide, please. Endowment funds. Endowment fund, as what PDG Dr. Jimmy has just shared, okay, is a permanent funds, okay, in Rotary. Rotary Foundations don't spend the money. Unlike annual funds that has a cycle of 3 years, endowments, okay, is the future. Okay, we have always heard sayings that PDG City has just also shared with us that endowment Rotary Foundation is the backbones. Okay, how do you understand that, you know, Rotary Foundation is the backbone of Rotary? Okay, endowment funds, for example, okay, is the future. Okay, is the future of Rotary, and I call that is the bridge to the future. The stronger the endowment funds, the brighter the future will be for Rotary. As you all know that, you know, in Rotary, we have been going on for the past 116 years. So have you ever wondered the last 116 years, what makes us go that strong and go that far to reach where we are today? Definitely, of course, is the strength of the foundations. Okay, and what is the strength in the foundation that keep it going? Is the endowment funds, because endowment funds sits in there, and Rotary Foundations will use the money, invest the money, okay, and the interest will come back to us, just like how the annual fund come back to us 3 years later. But however, endowment funds, the interest will come back to us every year. Next slide, please. So there are ways of how are we going to give, okay, endowment funds. Okay, the good things, the difference between endowment funds and the annual fund, it is that in endowment funds, you can build a legacy for yourself. Okay, you can create what do you call that, donate and under funds and endowment funds, they call it name endowment funds. You can name it under your name or your wife's name, okay? And or some clubs, okay, they create a legacy for their own clubs. They pool the monies together, Okay, they put the monies together and they contribute to annual what they call the endowment funds to create a legacy for their own club as well. So there are ways of doing that. Okay, and of course, to do a name endowment funds, it has to be a gift of a minimum of $25,000. Next slide, please. Now, okay, for endowment funds, okay, have we talked about the name endowment funds? Okay, now if you were to contribute $1 million, okay, to endowment funds, okay, of course, this money, okay, is spendable earnings, okay, provide partial to fully support for a new opportunity. So you can create a new opportunities, okay, like for example, a workshop, a retreat, or even a new initiative, but of course has to be within the Rotary Space program, okay, for global grant as well as for Rotary Peace Centers. So you can design it in the way how you want it, okay? And of course, for contributions, there is more than $500,000, okay? So far, if I can see that, I think PDG Leo has already achieved that. Okay, so for a funds, okay, of $500,000, okay, is an endowment funds that's customized with up to 3 of this focus area, okay, like for example, activities like in humanitarian projects, scholarships, vocational training teams, okay, the areas of focus, okay, I'm sure everybody knows the areas of focus that the projects that Rotary Foundation is focusing. Okay, and of course, projects within the district, and also even that you can even design in such that, you know, where do you want this project to be in geographically locations. You can name it that what do you call it, you want the projects to be carried out in South Africa, in Asia, in Southeast Asia, things like that. So endowment fund, it is something that, you know, okay, for the global grant endowment, it is a endowment fund that supports one of the projects that Rotary Foundation has carried on that is relating to humanitarian projects, scholarships, as well as vocational training teams. Okay, and of course, for 25,000 contributions, you can have a name endowment funds. Okay, right, for projects that generally supports the World Fund and the Rotary Peace Centers. So naming an opportunity to create an endowment funds under your own name, okay, is equivalent like creating a legacy for yourself or even for your club as well. And other than doing goods to the world. Next slide, please. Endowment funds by multiple donors. Right, there are certain people, what do you call that? Just now we have been shared on name endowments, okay, that is under your own names. So you contribute $25,000, okay, to create your own names, okay, and create your own legacies. But of course, some people, they know, okay, may feel that, you know, 25,000 probably it could be a little bit more for them to contribute. So you can also, okay, put together, okay, group together, accumulate to at least what we call 25,000. Okay, the minimum 25,000 remain unchanged. Okay, and of course, with a minimum of per Rotarians or individuals contribute $1,000. Okay, and create a legacy. Okay, and there are several clubs. I think there are 2 clubs so far in our district has already done that as well. They pull together, okay, and what they call that, to group reach a minimum of $25,000. Okay, and then they create a legacies under their own club's names. So this, when you create a legacies like this legacy will last forever. You'll be there. Okay, you'll be there forever. So maybe it is time for clubs, fellow Rotarians here, my friends, to really seriously consider, okay, in your clubs to create a legacy for your own clubs. Okay, with a minimum of $1,000 each person's, okay, and with the accumulative of $25,000. Next slide, please. Endowment funds, as we has seen here, that, you know, okay, we just mentioned earlier, the endowment funds is funds that is going to sit in there, okay, and we have got a group of experts, okay, in Rotary Foundations. They're going to manage the funds and they're going to, what they call that, invest the funds. I will go through this very quickly here, okay, because we are not accountants to go into details. So as you can see, for the past 5 years here, the funds has really grown each year. Okay, it started with 1 million, and then what you call that, it reached up to 1.3. Okay, that is what you call that in 2019, 2018, 19. Okay, so here is to prove that, you know, okay, how the fund works. Okay, other than what you call that earning interest, the funds will also grow by itself, because we have a group of intelligence investors sitting in Rotary Foundations that to manage our funds. Next slide, please. Right, as you can see, okay, now we have got Rotary Foundation have focused in so many projects, and one of the projects that I have just mentioned earlier, which is polio, okay, that we have been carrying on for decades, and we are that close to achieve. And other than that, okay, now we have got last year, I think we have got 6 areas of focus, and this year we added 1 more, so it's 7 areas of focus. That means to say is that Rotary Foundation's commitments to do good to the world is increasing each year. So as you can see in the middle here, the what do you call that, the blue color graph here, the growth, that shows the commitments that Rotary Foundations, okay, is going to do goods to the world, but the net assets that we have so far here, okay, is almost close to about 484 million. Can I have next slide, please? And here, as you can see, the endowment earnings each year, other than for the year of 2015 and 2016 and 2016 to 2017, that 2 particular year, okay, where it remains status quo. But other than that, okay, you can see that each year, the earning available for spending, okay, it increases. Meaning to say, contributions towards Rotary Foundations increase, and on top of that, the earning from the endowment funds, okay, also earning. So that means to say, when the endowment funds is earning, okay, there will be more funds coming back to our district. Next slide, please. Here, talking about this endowment fund, as you can see that, okay, it may sound a little bit something new here, but then as you can see, the world is contributing to endowment funds. Okay, in Malaysia here, so far we have got 900 over thousands, and for this year, our DG is going to, what they call that, striving to achieve, to break the 1 million mark. And I think for this year, with the efforts from PDG CT and PDG Jimmy, I think we could easily achieve to break that 1 million mark. Okay, breaking that 1 million mark, we are not in the race, okay, with other countries, but we just simply want to make the difference, to make some changes, okay, to our district as well as to endowment funds in the world. As you can see that, you know, okay, in the States, these records here is from 2016. Okay, it shows that in Malaysia we have got 8 named endowment funds, but as of today, okay, definitely we have more than just 8. Can we have next slide, please? So this is it. Okay, so far we have got 11 named endowment funds here. So as you can see, I would like to draw your attention to PDG Sir Lee King Ming, okay, who started it first, the endowment funds in 1999. As you can see from here, the original gift that he donated to endowment fund was 25,110, and the market value as of today is $39,000. So here is to indicate how does the fund grow tremendously. Okay, so in total, as I said, we have up to date here $927,000 contributed, donated to endowment fund, but as of market value is already break 1 million. So our struggle this year is to break the donation, okay, the 1 million mark. Okay, and here, of course, just now our DG Bindi has mentioned, okay, PDG Liu Chimbok was very generous, okay, to donate so much, okay, equal to about 1 million to Rotary Foundations. And here, as you can see that he has got 500,000 here donated to the endowment funds. Can we have next? And okay, I'd like to draw your attention here as well. Okay, Rotary Club of Bangsa and Rotary Club of Seputeh, these are the two clubs so far in our district has created their own legacies with endowments named after their clubs. So we will hope to see that more and more clubs follow the footsteps of Rotary Club of Bangsa and Rotary Club of Seputeh to create your own legacies, have endowment funds named after your clubs. Next slide, please. Benefactors, okay, is one of the way of givings. Okay, there are also another way of contributing to the endowment funds. But for benefactors, okay, it is something what do you call that? You include Rotary Foundation as a beneficiary, okay, to your will or to your estates. And on top of that, with also a minimum of $1,000 commitments. Okay, and then with that you will be recognized, okay, as benefactors. Next slide, please. Yeah, so for the name endowments here, okay, I would like to highlight to you on the major donors. Okay, we have got, as I can see here, we have got several major donors. For major donors, pretty simple. Okay, we accumulate our donations up to $10,000. Okay, so as when you have what do you call that, between 10,000 to 25,000, which is level 1. So we will also encourage for fellow Rotarians here, okay, to continue contributing, okay, and hopefully that we will be able to see more and more major donors in our district. Can we have next slide, please? Other than major donors, okay, and we have talked so much, okay, on why we donate, when to donate, how much to donate, okay, things like that, okay. So it's the art of giving, okay, it's the art of giving, okay. Many people have been asking that, you know, why should we give? How much should I give? Okay, now, and when we give, what are the goods that we're going to, what are the goods that we are doing to the world? We are giving money. No, my friends, the money that we give to Rotary Foundations, okay, and we are all aware that, you know, there are 7 areas of focus. As I mentioned earlier, that, you know, the commitments of Rotary Foundation increases each year. There are so much need to be done, okay, to the world to make the difference. And Rotary Foundations, we have been doing so many projects, and in every district, every club, we have been doing so much to our community. So there are 7 areas of focus that Rotary Foundations, okay, would like to make the difference. And for this year, okay, we have also included protecting the environment, okay, and who knows, maybe next year there'll be 8 areas of focus, or maybe following that, probably it could be 9, because there are so much out there waiting for us to make the difference. And for that, my friends, we need to support Rotary Foundations to achieve all this. And with the highest award in the Rotary Foundations, as we can see here, okay, is Ashkram, okay, as our DG has just mentioned, okay, it's very honored for us that we have our first foundation circle with a contribution of 1 million, okay, our PDG Leo, okay, and our PDG Jimmy, okay, obviously is the first trustee chair in our district. So it is not the first, okay, it is not the who is first and how much they contribute, okay, it is the art of giving, okay. Why should we be giving? As you can see that, you know, these other than the 7 areas of focus, and being a Rotarians, we are obligated in a way, okay, to strengthen our foundations, okay, for the future, to make the difference, okay, to the world. And there is a saying that the quality of living, okay, comes from the quality of givings, okay. And so that is the reason why I believe that is the reason why what they call so many of us are giving. And for the good news, that's, I think it was starting like this year that, you know, okay, for Ashkram Award, if you pledge to contribute $50,000 per annum, you will be known as Ashkram Society members. Okay, so, and being an Ashkram Society members, of course, you and your wife's photo, okay, will be permanently displayed on the 17th floor of Rotary International Gallery Centers. Permanently, meaning to say, in future, probably your children, your grandchildren, one day when they are Rotarians, they visited one Rotary building in Chicago, and he will be proud that to see your photos there. Okay, so that is another legacy. Okay, and for those who like to what they call that contribute to the TRF committee, okay, underneath here we have the email and contact of PDG City and PDG Dato Jimmy. Okay, please email them and or call them. Next slide, please. How to donate? Tonight we're going to make a difference. Okay, we're going to make a difference, but I'm not going to go into details here. Okay, so if we're going to encourage each one of you to donate a minimum of $100. Why $100? Why $100? Okay, I will leave that for PDG Jimmy to share with you all. But here we want to make a note to you that please do not donate directly. Do not make payment directly. There are forms. Okay, please download those forms. Fill up your club's name, fill up your membership's name and numbers, okay, and your credit card numbers, sign it, okay, and email it to jimmylin3300@gmail.com. Now, it's very important, okay, and why are we doing this? Okay, I will allow, what do you call that, PDG Jimmy to share with you all. Thank you very much.
Okay, next slide, please.
Part 2.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay, thank you very much, PP Edward. If you all haven't caught what he's saying because he was speaking quite fast, then that's my role now. My role in HASH, we call it a sweeper, right? A person, whatever they miss or whatever you don't understand, I come behind and I sweep. But in my house, the sweeper has to sweep all the cow dungs that the dogs left, so I'm not going to do that work. My job as sweeper is to try and encourage you to donate tonight. Now, the art of giving mentioned by PP Edward Koo is very important. And in this case here, in the art of giving, you are leaving yourself a legacy. Okay, a legacy where people can remember you by. If you gave in any other form to any other society, you won't be remembered. All right, but here, due to the instructions and the planning by our PDG City and DG Bindi, you can see we have already created the Hall of Fame, which is in our handbook, page 168. And for as low in the past as any sum, your name is listed in those funds. But now we are setting a minimum of not US 100, there was a typing mistake. For US 200, we will put your name into the Hall of Fame. But you must donate through the district, not direct. I think Susan is here or not, but she donated a few times and then she cannot find her name because there are thousands of people that make donations in Rotary Foundations. And if you want to try and find your name, you can't find. Unless you are like Leo, you give $1 million, all right? Then we will find your name there. But even my name, when I gave $250,000, disappeared. I use somebody else's name at the Rotary Center. So you have to make an impact. But here we remember you in your handbook and also soon in the Rotary Center. So most of us are getting old. We have done a lot for Rotary in this district. Why not just give some money, right? Tonight, I think there's 97 of us. If each of us gave 200, and if you can pledge, we would have raised close to 20,000 US dollars. So 200 is nothing. US dollar has dropped to about $4 and something, $450.15. Let's go. The other thing about the endowment fund and the art of giving is you want to know when it's not only to appreciate the generosity of PDG Leo. If most of you analyze, right, and he's not ashamed to tell you how he got the money, it was from his brother. And his brother invested, I think, not the amount that he left for Leo, but only a fraction of it, maybe 20 years back, when Malaysian ringgit was 1 for 1. But because he was clever and he invested in properties in Singapore, that's why it all went up, and today there's a lot of money around. No wonder in the endowment fund and in our roto form, we were all looking for this magic, right? Where was it? It is in exactly what our $1 million man's brother did. And we must learn, okay? And that's what I think the endowment fund should change and be. And I hope one day the district will realize and the Rotary will realize, and then the earnings will be much better. But that's only a sideline. But ladies and gentlemen, of my fellow Rotarians, this is the, what they call, this is how our funds work, right? If you gave $244,000 last year, and half of that, or nowadays less than half of that come back, then you have 116,000. Okay, and the DDF that we have from previous was 186,000, and now we have 100, and we have a total of 300 over 1,000. Now this is the art of giving, and this is what we are given, right? But this is not my topic. I just actually don't know how this slide appeared, but like they say, you know, what's given in front of you, you speak. Can we just roll over? I think Dr. Siwa will cover this. Okay, this is the fundraising efforts of our district. Just to show you that we are desperate this year. Not to, in the past, okay, we have been raising 200,000, 300,000, but so far only 97,000 this year for annual funds. In the portfolio, nothing, but in endowment, we only have a target of 50,000. But fortunately, in endowment fund, I think we have broken all records. I don't think it can be attributed to me, but attributed to the generosity of the people. And if you must know, my fellow Rotarians, the scoreboard at the moment is another 50,000 from PDG Leo, and then another, and that pledge of 25,000 from PAG Barat, right? He's already donated very generously, but he says, never mind, I will donate not 50,000, 25,000 in the name endowment fund. So that brings us already to 75. And our speaker, PP Edward, has actually, if you look into his donation sheet this morning, I checked, already makes $60,000 donation. Okay, $60,000. So later, when in the awards, I will see what else we can talk about him and why is he donating. But certainly, he had to pay for his right to speak tonight. So if anybody wants to join my committee, please make a small pledge next year as well. I'm joking only, all right? So let's go to the next one. Next slide. Next slide. I'm not going to talk about this one. Next slide.
That's it.
Aha! You got the green button problem. PDG
That's
City.
your last
Yeah,
slide,
thank you so much. This was the most important part. Okay, fellow Rotarians, we are now 927,000 that we have donated. See this one? We have donated so far 925,000 to the Royal Endowment Fund. We are making a bid now to go over 1 million. Okay, million. But actually, due to the few donations, we actually strike well above that already. But the campaign goes on because it is not about only 3 per person giving 100% of the donations. It is about 80% of us giving. So therefore, we are continue to push this campaign for you to donate. And the minimum donation is not 100 as stated here, it's 200. Your name will be fixed at the Rotary Center and also in the Hall of Fame. And we are looking for clubs. like RC Metro has pledged that there will be 100% endowment giving club, okay, which is everybody donates 200 US. It's very easy, isn't it? And we'll put up your name. Of course, Rotary won't recognize you, but our own Rotary Center and Hall of Fame, we will recognize you. Okay, so please, if you can see fit to donate this 200 US dollar, apart from what you will donate to annual givings, this will help this what they call district, or come and enjoy us in the year 2022, where we raised well over $1 million. Altogether, there will be 10 endowment funds, and we will be one of the top 8 in the world in endowment funds. And then we will see what else they do. Maybe they can learn the lesson from PDG's brother and on how to manage endowment funds. If I get a chance later, I also want to talk about the story of PP Edward and how he made his millions also through properties, but in a different, clever way. We have a lot to learn. So come and join my endowment fund and committee. And I want to end now because we have a long stretch of people to pay what they call to download their wisdom to us. Thank you very much, PDG.
Thank you, Dr. Jimmy. So you have heard now why we have the endowment fund committee members. Just look at their vocation. Dr. Jimmy, who is our first AKS, is the housing development, and of course, PP Edward Khoo, who is in management consultant, major donor level 3 at the moment. And of course, PP Edward Khoo, we are the clock is ticking for you to move up that level very soon. So let me just move forward and just a little break. I think this is why we are here.
সে রোববারের অপেক্ষা করবো, সে রোববারে তো সবচেয়ে বড় দিন আসবে যে আমার বাচ্চারা দেখতে পাবে, অত দিনের পর দেখতে পায়নি।
যে তো পারবেন খাটাখাটনি করেও জোগাড় করতে পারবেন না, আর অত টাকা ই করেও পছন্দ করতে পারবেন। তখন দেখতে পাই গেলে তো খুব মনে করবো যে খুব ভালো লাগে।
You need more of heart than your hand in doing service for children.
তাদের ভবিষ্যৎ যেন ফিরে আসে, সেটাই তো চাই মা বাবা।
Yes, my friends, my fellow Rotarians, that's why we are Rotarians. We give sight, we give light, we give hope. And that's what our foundation can do. And that's where our giving can go far. Now, to share with us on why annual giving, the basic Rotary obligation, I'd like to invite DJN, Dr. Siva Anandan, our annual funds subcommittee chair, to share his thoughts. Over to you, Siva. I'll stop share and you can carry on.
Thank you, Siti, and thank you, Jimmy and Edward, for your sharing of the endowment fund and also for doing my work for me by explaining the share system. Thank you. All right. It's my great privilege always to speak to Rotarians, because Rotarians are singularly different kind of people. despite the pressures, the difficulties that we face in our own life, we take the time to think of others, right? And we take the time to help others. So today I would like to share with you some thoughts I have on basically the annual fund of Rotary and the annual giving. And what I'd like to basically say is a basic Rotary obligation. Why many Rotarians don't see this is beyond me. And, you know, it's important for us to apply ourselves for a moment to what giving annually to the Rotary Foundation actually means. If one looks at the world that we live in, okay, it's a broken world. The video that Citi just shared with us, showing that $300 can restore the sight to a child. Imagine that. Imagine being blind. Imagine not being able to see a thing. And imagine that the difference between having sight and being blind is $300, which is approximately 1,200 ringgit, which if 10 Rotarians get together and give, you know, 120 ringgit, the problem is solved. And 120 ringgit is something we spend on dinner with our family. So imagine the world that we live in. It's a broken world. It's a broken world in which children are hungry. It's a broken world in which children die because of poverty. It's a broken world in which disease is prevalent in people because most people don't care. And sites like this are common. You know, we all watched The Hunger Games with Jennifer Lawrence. The movie made many billions of dollars. But you know, the real Hunger Games is that every 4 seconds, somewhere in this world, a child dies because of hunger. Not because the child is ill, not because the child is involved in a car accident, but because the child is hungry. The child dies. Imagine this, you know, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right then, as I'm speaking to you, a child has died somewhere in the world. It's unimaginable. And you know, we Rotarians, we are the thing that makes a difference in the lives of millions of these people, because we rid the world of polio. We have ensured that millions of children in the world are spared the agony of having to grow up without proper limbs, having to limp through their lives. We are Rotarians who take responsibility for cleaning the world. The environment has become an area of focus for Rotary now. It should have been a long time ago, because the environment is the canvas on which we draw our lives. If the planet is gone, then none of us will exist. And so all the things that we do are secondary to protecting and preserving the planet. And we Rotarians everywhere in the world are now charging forward to do something about this. We Rotarians bring education to children who are poor. We try to rid the world of illiteracy. We Rotarians care and give children gifts and school bags and uniforms so that they can go to school with pride. We feed the hungry. We grow our own food and make sure that children and poor people are fed. My own club this year fed 3,000 families during COVID-19. So it's important that if we are to do all these things, that we have to support our foundation, we have to support our Rotary clubs financially. And yet, a lot of Rotarians are spectators. They think that what we do in Rotary is like a football match. You can come, buy a ticket, which is your subscription, and watch the game. But they don't participate. So it's time for us to change that. It's time for us to think about why we are Rotarians. What is fundamental about being a Rotarian? It's not about who is the leader and who is going to be in charge of this and who and how many medals can we receive. It's about the things that we do to make a difference in the world, you know? And there are many ways in which you can support our Rotary Foundation. You can give to the Polio Plus Fund. You can support the annual fund, which is what I am encouraging you to do. But at the same time, what Jimmy and Edward said are also correct. We must create a legacy. We must build a fund so that one day, if nobody gives, the interest and the income that is generated from the fund will be sufficient to keep Rotary going in perpetuity. So I implore, I appeal, I beg you, I put my hands out, and ask you for help. Please do something this year and every year to support the annual fund of Rotary. I come from a very poor family. All my life through school, I worked in Kentucky Fried Chicken when I was 18 years old. When I was in Form 1, I worked in a banana leaf restaurant for 70 ringgit a month. And so all my life, my hand was like this. I was asking for help, and good and generous people helped me. When I was a student in school in Kajang, the Rotary Club of Kajang helped me pay my exam fees. So all my life, my hand was like this. And one day, through the grace of God, my hand turned the other way. And now I was in a position to give people help. And I say to you that your life experience, many of you, would be very similar. So therefore, when from here, your hand becomes like that, if you don't keep giving, one day, the good fortune that God has bestowed upon you may no longer be there, and it may turn back this way. So I ask you to think about what you can do within the means that you have to support giving to the Rotary Foundation. Because what we give is the primary source of funding for global grants, for district grants, right? And it is through the share system that our own money comes back to us 3 years down the road, with which we can create meaningful projects with impact and pair with other districts and other countries and go to the Rotary Foundation and say, okay, now match us with a global grant so that we can carry out this project, so that a project that's worth, say, 20,000 ringgit or 30,000 ringgit can be carried out at 4 times its value. So if we don't support annual giving, there won't be money in our DDF going forward for us to be able to undertake those kinds of projects. So giving to the annual fund is something which I think is fundamental. And, for me, you don't have, as Dato Jimmy said, right? You don't need to give a humongous amount of money. Not everybody is endowed with wealth so that they can give 100,000, 200,000 to Rotary. But if 2,000 members in district, we are slightly over 2,000 now. If everybody just gave 100 ringgit, that would be 200,000 ringgit every year. If everybody just gave 100 ringgit, which is 460 or 470 ringgit, once you, 100 US dollars, when you multiply, it becomes 460 or 470, which is 40 ringgit a month. Now, when a Rotarian says, I don't have enough, I can't give, it's not that you can't afford 40 ringgit a month. It's sheer neglect. It's sheer neglect and indifference to your role in this game, that you don't want to be a participant, you're happy to be a spectator. But unless you participate in the game, how will you ever experience the exhilaration of scoring a goal? How will you ever experience the exhilaration that comes from stopping a goal as a goalkeeper? So my friends, play the game. Come onto the field, right? And Rotary makes it easy for us to come onto the field, participate in the EREY program. Every Rotarian, every year. Give what you can, right? 100 US dollars is, for many of us, something that we can afford. Give it. If 100% of our members give that, our district will have a base of 200,000 US dollars every year going forward. The problem is less than 10% of people give. So I appeal to you, think about participating in EREY program. If you have more money, become a Paul Harris Fellow. Give $1,000 US, right? And many of our PHFs in our district, they're very proud to wear the pin. So I'm a Paul Harris Fellow, and that's it. But he became a Paul Harris Fellow 10 years ago, 20 years ago, right? The year he gave that money, or she gave that money, children were fed, eye operations were carried out, shelters were provided to homeless people. And then the year after you gave, what do you think happened? You think after that there was no poverty, people didn't become homeless, blindness didn't happen just because you become a Paul Harris Fellow? The obligation to give is continuing. The obligation to give is not one-off. It's not one-off. You give, you take the pin, and that's it. I'm a PHF. And you proudly wear the PHF after your name. Do you know what the PHF after your name stands for? It stands for somebody who cares. It stands for somebody who continues to care. If after giving your first $1,000 20 years ago, 10 years ago, you gave nothing to the foundation, then you really shouldn't be wearing that pin, because you've left the game. You're no longer playing on the field. So my friends, if you're a Paul Harris Fellow, think of giving another $1,000, going to one blue sapphire, or another $1,000 to 2 stones, another $1,000, 3 stones, and keep going until you become a major donor, right? If you can give $1,000 every year, you become a member of a very select society, the Paul Harris Society. Those of us that belong to the Paul Harris Society make a commitment to pledge $1,000 every year. That means come rain, come high water, we will give $1,000 every year, which if you break it down is about 400 ringgit a month. So think about being a member of the Paul Harris Society, so that this obligation to give annually is something that is not an art. It needs to be a habit. Like you wake up every morning, you brush your teeth. You wake up every morning, you have a bath. These are habits. These are acquired over time because your parents instilled this in you. Make giving a habit. Make it something that you do whenever you can, to whatever extent you can. That is what I appeal to you to do, right? Recurring giving is another way. If you go on to www.rotary.org/give, you can just give your credit card number and you can say, okay, monthly I give $10 or monthly I give $20, all right? Or monthly I give $100, okay? I would encourage you strongly to do this, And if you really have funds, extra money, right? Think of becoming a major donor. It's $10,000, yeah? If you've got more money, think of being a major donor level 2. If you have more money, think of becoming a major donor level 3. And you have a lot of money, become a major donor level 4. If you have more money than that, become an Arts Club Society member. And whenever you give, yeah, you can create an endowment or you can give it to the annual fund. The choice is yours, all right? So my friends, my appeal to you is give. Stop being a spectator. Many of our Rotarians say, I'm a Rotarian, I pay my subscription, right? I'm doing my part. Can I tell you something? You pay your subscription, you're doing nothing. You pay your subscription to pay your RI dues, to pay your district dues, to be a Rotarian, and to have your meals at your weekly or bi-weekly meetings. Paying a subscription is not service above self. Paying a subscription is self-service. You're doing it for yourself so that you can be a member of a club, you can call yourself a Rotarian. It's only when you go over that, it's only when you rise above that, that you start becoming a Rotarian. So for me, giving to the foundation is a basic Rotary obligation. You call yourself a Rotarian, you have to give. And sometimes, you know, as I say to my club members, giving doesn't mean if you say, for example, don't have enough money, giving doesn't mean that you have to use your own money. Have a fundraiser in your club, go to the public, invite them to contribute to the Rotary Foundation, right? Share some information with them on the Rotary Foundation. And when that money comes up together and you have 25,000, pool those funds, create an endowment. If you don't have 25,000, let's say you raised 5,000 from the public, give the 5,000 in the name of your club to the Rotary Foundation. Giving doesn't mean that you need to have money. Giving can also mean that you raise the money, that you use your influence, you use your time in order to get the money so that you can help others. So my friends, give, right? Because it's a basic Rotary obligation. Paying your subscription is basic Rotary obligation 1, but it's only half the obligation. It's only when you give to the foundation that you fulfill your basic obligation of being a Rotarian. Yeah, because doing so helps us to continue the wonderful work that the foundation is doing, and because doing so helps us to increase this statistic. You know that only 7% of Rotarians around the world give 1,000 or more to the annual fund. And that is true of our district and every Rotary district in the world. 7%. That means out of 100% of Rotarians who should be doing something, 93% of them are sitting in the seats in the stadium watching the game. Only 7% of them are the players on the field. It's time for us to change this stat. And this 7% constitute 45% of the money that's given to the annual giving fund. Imagine if we can change these statistics, right? Imagine if we can change these statistics, how much of money we can raise and how much of good we can do in the world. So my appeal to you is that it's time to stop watching the game and start playing the game. You know, today is Giving Tuesday. Yeah, Siri said that. You know, for me, every day is a giving day, not just Giving Tuesday. Every day is a giving day. Get into the habit of giving and do what you can for how long you can, because sooner or later, you and I will journey on to that undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns, as Shakespeare said. We will go to that land that is beyond the here to the hereafter, right? And then it doesn't really matter who you are, doesn't matter how many houses you have, doesn't matter how many cars you have, doesn't matter how many $1 million you have in the bank. Because, you know, as I learned from my chess teacher, he said, Siva, once the game is over, the queen, the king, and the pawn go back in the same box. So do what good you can while God has given you the opportunity to do it. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you, DGN. Stop sharing the screen. Yes. Let me just, you know, that was really very insightful. And I think it gives us an understanding of why we are Rotarians. As you can see, DGN, Dr. Siva himself is a major donor level 3 and in corporate advisory as his profession, what he does. And I'm sure with that engagement, as you said, we Rotarians, we have the time, we have the talent, and we need the resources. And that's where the resources comes in for us to be able to raise funds for the Rotary Foundation. Let me just move this. So in that, I just like to take this opportunity to thank some of our Rotarians who in the last couple of months for the Rotary year, who have contributed more than $1,000. This could either be in the annual fund or even it could be in polio. And we have members, of course, there are Rotarians who have also top up their PHF and who have become PHF also. But these are Rotarians here in this list who have over the last 2-3 months been contributed this $1,000 to the foundation. And as Siva said, and we did the reporting, what we saw was, when we saw the report, you see, while the club may be 100% contributor, but it's not 100% of Rotarians who contribute. It's only maybe 3% of the club who contributes that 100% foundation giving for the club. So it's so important that we all be part of the 100%. Thank you, fellow Rotarians. On this list here, we have IAG Hans, PP Wong, Dr. Vijayan, PP Muhammad Izzah, Rotarian Tan Suhang, DGE Dr. Krishna Kumar, PAG Pushpa, Rotarian Hans Lee, PP Wong, PP Horst, PP Ambu, PP Chin, and PP Jeffrey Yap from all the clubs that has been listed. I also would like to recognize some of those who have this year, and these are those who have contributed. You may have pledged, but if it's your list, it's not here. We have not found it in the listing, but if you have, just send me a note. And when we had our Rotary Polio Day, we had contributors who have contributed to the Polio Plus giving. Once again, thank you very much, Rotarians, for taking that step. And as Siva mentioned earlier, our major donors. Now, our district has also got a good number of contributors as major donors. And as you know, major donors are those who contributed US $10,000 and above. So for those who have topped up something, right? And that's so important. You have been a major donor, yet every year, whether you contribute a minimum of $1,000 or even as much as you want to, but you continue contributing. We have PDG Ken Koo, who is a level 1, and he contributed $1,000 this year. We have PP Abu Sama from Bangsa, who's a major level 1, his contribution was $1,000. PP Sham, Dato Shamrat, who is also level 2, and he contributed $1,000. PDG Dr. Bashkaran, level 1, contributed $1,000. PAG Benny Po, level 1, contributed $1,000. Dato Bindi, our own governor, has contributed $2,000 to it, and level 1. Dr. Siva here, level 3. We hope you'll move on to level 4 very soon with 2,000, 1,005 so far. And I'm sure this is just a minimum contribution. And we have PP Edward Koo, who is level 3, and he has just recently contributed yesterday or so $60,000 and increase that. And of course, PP Edward Koo, we will be, hoping that with your goodwill and let's say God has been blessing you very well, so we hope that we will have your contribution even later. PAG Dr. Silva has been very, very passionate about polio. He's contributed 1,005 just to polio level 1. Our PAG Bharat, if you've heard, he has not only contributed to the foundation annual fund of 30,000, he's also pledged to give to endowment another $25,000, right? And we have PP Mohan from Pudu level 1, another 1,000. IPP Mahendran level 2, another 1,000. PP Dr. Suresh from Taiping level 1, 1,000. PDG Dr. Rajinder has been also a very regular contributor to the foundation, and he has increased this year. Both PDG Dr. Rajinder and PAG Surinder has moved up to level 3 as major donors. And their fellow member of our Sintan, PP Chandrapal Kaur, who is now level 1, $1,000. So my fellow Rotarians, your first contribution as major donor could be 10,000 US, but every year, if you just add on 1,000 or whatever that you have been graced with, it certainly will help the district. It certainly will help the foundation. So without any further delay, I'd like to invite our AKS, our second Arch Club Society member, our PDG Liu Cheng Lim, Endowment and Major Gift Advisor of the Rotary Club of Tampin. While I asked him what is your profession now, and he said diagnostic radiography, I said you are no longer, you're already retired. So, but that was his last vocation. And the man of the hour, PDG Liu, over to you in building a legacy.
Thank you. I will share the screen now.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay, yeah.
Yep. Yes.
Okay, my title is Building a Legacy. So let's watch a video.
Hello?
Raindrops fall from the sky. They may be small, but together they make a mighty ocean. In the same way, your commitment to doing good in the world enables the Rotary Foundation to fund the projects that you care about. Last year, even during a pandemic, hundreds of thousands of donors like you gave more than $440 million. Your generosity allowed the foundation to fund more than 2,000 global grants, creating opportunities for people everywhere to respond to their community's unique needs. A $15 donation could buy polio vaccines. A water filter cost only $50, and $100 could provide COVID-19 training. You supported causes such as fighting disease, building strong communities, and promoting lasting peace. So whether you gave $1 or $1 million, you gave help and hope. The people whose lives you've touched, the families, the parents, the children, thank you. And so do we.
Okay, you have watched the video. The video actually shows us why we need what a program. Planning a gift to the Rotary Endowment support this life-changing program forever, that in the 7 area of focus that all the speakers have earlier shared with us. Now, the endeavor ensures that Rotary will retain its strength in perpetuity. The original gift amount is never spent. The earning reinvested to bring about additional growth or used to provide millions of dollars each year to your favorite Rotary activity. Think of your annual giving to Rotary as durance. They each provide help to people in need right now. Your gift have an impact on life today, but then they are gone. Building a legacy to Rotary Endowment is like planting a Musang King tree, durian tree that will grow over time, providing durians on your behalf years to come. Your gift will help support Rotary next century of service. Building your legacy, Rotary is grateful to the thousands of devoted friends, leaders, and problem solvers who generously provide perpetual support that enables the foundation to do good in the world beyond their lifetime. I'd like to share this story about my late brother, Liu Chinbo. When I took his will, when he passed away, the opening line of his will was, "Money is the root of all evils." And he have left some inheritance to me with just simple words to do good in the world. Naturally, and then I'm in Rotary, so Rotary benefits everything. And what I did was that in the legacy, I created a name endowment in this name because I feel that's the legacy of my brother. So I started with an initial donation to endowment of 500,000, and just recently I topped it up with another 50K to 550,000. And this will generate an annual fund share of district destination minor interest of about US 11K for the district, minusing the World Fund, of course. Now, all of you have heard about the various level of AKS, and I'm very glad that I've reached my target of the foundation circle of 1 million. Each received a certificate, a crystal donation recognition piece, a lapel pin or a pendant. Their portraits, as earlier said, are displayed in the interactive Art Club gallery, a traveling kiosk showing the gallery displayed at each international assembly and Rotary International Convention. I'd like to share with you something. This was inspired by by our Dr. Bernard, who actually sometimes says, I've never seen how the crystal looked like, and that's how it came. So I like to share with you all. This is the crystal that you get. And I like to show you all.
Your video
Can't see, is it?
can
Yeah,
Okay,
PDG,
never mind.
we can see.
black cut. There's a
Okay,
black
okay,
cut.
never mind. Oh, I see.
Mm.
Never mind. I think there's something there. Okay, I'm very glad that I achieved the foundation circle of 1 million. That was my original target from earlier of a child circle. And this is the gallery. This is how the gallery looked like. I was supposed to go to one Rotary Center last March, but due to the pandemic, it was cancelled as my appointment EMGA. There was supposed to training in the one Rotary Center. I missed it. And just to show you all, these are the things that you get. You'll get the AKF pin, and even for your wife, you get a necklace. And there's even a AKS earring, which is, my wife says, too tinky to wear it. And I'd like to share with you, my Rotary legacy is a world of real happiness and helping others. The joint when I joined Rotary, where the late Cliff Dodderman was a team, and our late PDG John Wang of Rotary Club of KL Raja was here in Tampin, and that inspired me from the very day when I joined Rotary. And this is the trip that I went with Dr. Jimmy and all of us, and Nikki leading us to the NID. And I was at this roadside school where we see children coming to school with no roof. Here we have children with school with a roof over their head. There's nothing. This is by the roadside, and the Rotarian volunteering to take. And we brought this foundation, our Yaya son, back to them. They were so happy to receive it. And how will your legacy change the world? No matter how you designate your gift to Rotary Foundation, it will be used to change life. Whether you make an outright gift or commitment to the Rotary Foundation, endowment your long-term estate or financial plan, you're continuing a 100-year tradition of doing good that you'll be proud to call your Rotary legacy. There are special naming opportunity for gift or commitment of 20,000 or more, as shared earlier by our Edward crew. Your fund can bear your name or that loved one and carry on your Rotary legacies with update during your lifetime and report available to your district each year. So Rotarians of the future are aware of your generosity. Why support TRF? Because TRF programs do tremendous good. TRF programs need funds every year. If you want to build a better world, we must be prepared to invest in it. We are Rotarian. It's our TRF. It's our TRF. If not us, then who? It's our TRF. If not now, then when? Another good reason to donate to the Rotary Foundation is 13 years in a row, an independent charity navigator. The Rotary Foundation receives the highest rating from Charity Navigator for the 13th consecutive year. Congratulations. Only 1% of the organizations Charity evaluate have received 13 consecutive 4-star evaluation, the highest ranking ever for the Rotary Foundation. Well, it said Rotary tomorrow depends on what we do today. And I personally feel Rotary never fails us if we have the passion for Rotary and to enjoy Rotary. The Rotary Foundation is the best formal charity to give to, and this is the most accountable and sustainable organization in world history. Thank you. I shall end my slide and I welcome questions if there's any. Thank you.
Thank you.
I will stop share now.
Yep. Thank you, PDG.
Thank you.
Leo. What an apt day today, Giving Tuesday, and for us to also recognize PDG Leo for his generosity. And this is the man of the day. Thank you, PDG Leo, for your 1 million contribution in total since you have started the AKS. And today you are a member of the AKS Foundation Circle. We thank you, your family, and for this generosity. It really means a lot to us as Rotarians, not only just for the district, but I think overall as a whole, as an organization, the foundation is very, very grateful to you. And this is only the little bit that we can recognize you. And not only PDG Leo, I think all our Rotarians who have contributed even as little as the minimum of $25 US. If you could do that, it is something that we all collectively can be part of this game of humanitarian service. That's where we are today, my friends, right? And what is our district's target? In the next 3 years, this is what we want to achieve. And we can only achieve this with the incoming governors. For every club to participate in TRF, whether as in grant application, whether in contribution, every TRF program, we have so many TRF programs from vocational training teams to peace scholars, you know, and very importantly for every Rotarian to give. Right now, we are only hovering at today's report. We have 54 clubs who have yet to contribute. So we need to move that up. Let's see if I say 7% globally who contributes that 1,000 US out of our number of Rotarians we have. And that's true in our district too, very much little. And it's also important that whatever we give, we must be able to use it usefully. And best way to use it is to explore global grants. That is our target. And Governor, I'm sure you're still around. I would like to also share with everyone today, when Governor sets this goal at the beginning of the year, we set 300,000 giving for annual fund, 50,000 for polio, and 50,000 for endowment, a total of 400,000 for our TRF contribution. Governor, I'm pleased to announce to you today, with all the contributions that we have received as of to date, we have surplus the endowment of 50,000. We have surplus the endowment, the annual fund of 300,000. So we are going to surplus that 400,000. But what we are going to do is we're going to target the next mile is to reach, just like endowment, 1 million for endowment. We hope before the end of the year, the Rotary year, we could reach 1 million in our total giving, annual fund, polio, as well as endowment from District 3300. And this can only be achieved if every Rotarian knows the meaning and the purpose of us having that obligation to give to the foundation. My friends, this comes to the end of our session. I'm just going to wrap it up before I open it up for questions, because then we can have it as a very, very informal question and answer. All our panelists will be here. Some of our other speakers, our other committee members, TRF committee members are also present. But it's so important that doing good in the world is only possible because we are Rotarians. And I really hope the little project that we talk about, the Tabung project, is just a little small way of making giving easy. And I'm sure there are many of you who are able and in a position to give. So if you can, we really hope that you will do that. Thank you very much. And this would be in honor of Giving Tuesday.
Hospital. And also this hospital providing all these hospitals.
So here we are. Thank you everyone for spending time. And yes, we are on time. We wanted to spend just about 2 hours for this session. And really, it's all about you Rotarians. And let's open to the floor. Anyone with any concerns, anyone, any questions, please do share your thoughts, whether on chat or in person.
Well, PDG,
Yes, Dr. Jimmy.
you have not promoted your tabung. So maybe before everyone leaves, there's still another 88 people around. Please let us know your tabung and what you want us to do. Because the pandemic has actually held you back a lot.
Yes, yes. Before I go to the tabung, I like to do that. In fact, okay, let me just do the tabung before I invite PP Koo to do a little advertisement. My friends, the tabung is actually, I hope number one is everyone would have received your tabung, the giving, Get Safe Lives and the End Polio tabung. The idea of it is how we make giving easy. You know, remember when we were kids, we save money, we put coins in, you know, and as we grow older, we take the coins out from our parents and, you know, where they save the money for us. Today is the time where we get our kids, even ourselves, just to drop in some coins. Put it in your office. Yeah. Get people to drop in their top, make it a top piece while you're raising funds. They will contribute to your little tabung you can carry around in the office. At the end of the day, we hope that if every one of us is able to fill up our tabung with at least 400, 500 ringgit, that would be a minimum of $100 US, a minimum. And by the time the year comes in March, we would like everyone to be able to now open your tabung. Your club TRF chair has been briefed how to do it. The funds that you raise in the tabung is yours to contribute to the foundation. It's not to the district, it's not to your club, but it's for you to allocate the amount that you raise in your tabung to your own fund in TRF. So if example, you manage to raise 1,000 ringgit, you like to apportion 500 to annual fund, you like to apportion 500 to polio, you can do that. If you like to apportion including your endowment fund, you could also do that. The idea is we want Rotarians to have this habit of giving. And this exercise is going on for 3 years because eventually, like how Dr. Siva has already presented, it should be something that is on reoccurring basis. If you can just reoccur in your credit card every month, $10 US, that's 30 ringgit or 45 ringgit, you forget about it. And every month, at the end of the year, you already have about maybe 800 US there, just on your reoccurring basis. So the idea of this tabung is to really help people to, at this point, how to make giving easy. I mean, I have the 2 tabung right smack in my office, and anybody who comes here, you know, is a talking point. What are you doing? What is this doing here? I said, just this is what we do for polio, and this is what we do for humanitarian service. And you get people just dropping their donation to it. And at the end of the day, it is something. It is a tool for you to raise funds. It's a tool for you to engage with your members who don't actually give. Just tell them, it's very easy. Take this home, keep it, give it to your grandchildren. PGG Paul, that's what he did. He gave it to his grandchildren. At the end of the day, you know, I'll contribute so much, but the tabung is for my grandchildren to save money. PDG Ken Koo, who is a major donor, he took the tabung and he put all his coins in the tabung. And he said, please sit. And he weighed, and it's, you know, it's
3.1 kilo and 3.4.
So it's just a way of giving. It's something that we need a habit of giving. And that is what the foundation would like us to do. Every year, we don't want to be telling clubs, it's your obligation to give, your obligation to give. Eventually, it is automatically for you to give. My club has a way of doing it where we collect 30 ringgit, 40 ringgit every month in our invoice. So at the end of the year, every member actually contributes 100 US to the foundation because we collect every month. That's something you can do in your club. So there's so many ways of doing it. This is just one way of doing it. We just want to make it interesting, fun. And because of COVID, we know a lot of us may be financially tight. You may not be able to give so much as you used to. But I'm sure the coins in your tabung will be able to help you to at least give $100. That's how the tabung works.
Siti, may I add
So-
something as the EMGA?
Yes.
As the endowment manager gives them, I think never happens in our district where we have 100% club giving. This is the best year when Siti introduced this tabung. As long as the club gives $1 US, it's considered 100. All the clubs are giving. In the year, there were 24 clubs who didn't give, and they didn't. That means this club, he didn't even give $1. Like our Siva said, our DGN, we have to have the habit of giving. So with this, we hope that even the club put a 50 cents of sitting gigging, when we report it to RI, that means all the club in our district, for the first time in our district, all the club have given something. That's our target as per annual and endowment and major gift advisor. It is to see all the district where all the club giving. It doesn't matter how much you give. It is the habit of giving. So from this onward, hopefully after this next exercise, the club will give every year. We don't have to wait for the governor to come. I know during the official visit, many are worried about the governor. When the governor comes, who's the PHF? Who's the next PHF? I mean, the governor don't have to do that. It is obligatory. When the governor goes there, proudly people come and say, this is my contribution. It can be $100 or it can be US $10. It doesn't matter. It is the 100%. That's our target this year. I think if we achieve it the first time in our district, we have 100% club giving. Thank you, Siti, for the time.
Thank you, PDG Leo. Just before we address more questions, I'd like to invite again PP Edward Koo for his little advertisement on the Mandarin conference. PP Edward, you want to just share a little bit there?
Okay, let me share the screen. See how I can share the screen here. Okay. Yeah, did I share the screen?
No, not yet.
Oh, not yet, right? Okay, and okay, let me share the screen while what they call working on sharing the screen. I would like to make an introductions on what they call that for this year. Okay, before I go on what I'm going to share, okay, I would like to talk a little bit on membership growth. Okay, every issue we have been talking about membership growth. Okay, and is membership really growing in our district? Is membership really like what they call that progressing well? Okay, so this is the questions that has been bothering us every year. Okay. And every DG, okay, has also what you call that to talk about membership every year. Okay, now what actually went wrong? Okay, with membership growth. Okay, look in terms of the populations in Malaysia compared with several countries, and you can compare that is here. Okay, membership in several countries who has got population which is much lesser than us in Malaysia. Okay. What do you call that? But they have got more Rotarians than us. Okay. Now, here I would like to highlight to everyone here, okay, to create some awareness on the language barrier. Malaysia is a unique country. Okay, we speak what you call that several languages. Okay, but because of the language barrier, okay, we limit ourselves. Okay, we limit ourselves in terms of expanding our membership growth. So. Wait, I'm still trying to share. I don't know how to do that. Okay, anyway. All right, so what do you call that? I would like to make create some awareness here, okay, to my friends, okay, fellow Rotarians, that we should not, okay, in the understanding the language barrier, we should not limit ourselves, okay, in terms of language. In Malaysia, we are a multilingual country, so we speak a lot of languages. And here, who determines that, you know, okay, we only speak English in Rotary, okay? Right, Malaysia, we speak multilingual languages, okay? Right, so therefore, I would like to encourage that, you know, okay, there are some non-English speaking, or rather they speak English, but not very good English communities out there who has been waiting for us, what they call that, to raise our hands to reach out to them to join Rotary. Okay, and likewise, it's the same that what they call that, many non-English speaking community, okay, non-speaking English community, they somehow, okay, there are still many people out there who doesn't understand what is English, know what is Rotary all about. So since 2019, we have started in our district has initiated the so-called Mandarin Conference. Okay, during that years, we have attracted Rotarians from several countries like Taiwan, Cambodia, Singapore, Thailand, and Myanmar participating, and China as well participating in this Mandarin Conference, okay, to encourage us as a Malaysians, okay, to develop more Mandarin speaking Rotary clubs, because in Malaysia we have a sufficient numbers of Mandarin speaking communities out there, okay, and these communities, okay, is waiting for us to reach out to them to understand what it is Rotary, as well as also to join us to serve the communities. So for this year, again, which is the third year. This is the third year for us. We will be organizing the third. Our district will be, is hosting the third Mandarin Conference. Okay, and the guest of honor, past RI President Gary Huang will be our guest of honor, and we have got speakers. We have got speakers from Philippines, Cambodia, Singapore, Kuching, China, and Taiwan as well, from 6 countries. Now, how are we going to do it? Okay, it's going to be very exciting this year. Okay, it's going to be multilingual. Also, for those who do not understand Mandarin, okay, I still encourage you to participate. Okay, I still encourage you to participate because it will be in multi-languages. And what is called that, we're going to be a little bit different, and you're going to watch live. It will be a live presentations, okay, from all those countries. Okay, there will be 6 locations throughout the world. In other words, Singapore, Philippines, Cambodia, and China, okay, Taiwan, and Kuching and KL will be broadcasting live. So we will be watching live, okay, in 6 locations from 5 countries. So it's a little bit unique. So I encourage. Unfortunately, I couldn't share my my sharing here. But however, okay, I will be what they call it, probably get the help from the district, okay, to send out those brochures. Okay, there is a QR code, so I encourage you to scan this QR code and then to what they call that, registered is free. Okay, we are not charging anything, but we encourage all of us to support our DG, support our district, because we are the host and we are the initiator for this. And for this year, we'll be expecting at least a minimum, okay, from 800 to 1,000 participants from all over the world. Okay, come to experience, okay, a unique, okay, how is it done live, okay, in so many countries. Okay, and with the support from our DG, we are trying to make a little bit, what they call that, the event more interesting. And on top of that, for this event, okay, we will be promoting our t-shirts. Okay, very unfortunate that I can't share my screen, but we will get the district's help, okay, to distribute, okay, what they call that, those brochures, okay. And for the sales of the t-shirts, okay, in ringgit is 75 ringgit, okay. For every t-shirts, 50 ringgit will be donated to Myanmar. Okay, why are we supporting Myanmar? Okay, with the change of the government in Myanmar, okay, Rotary has been becoming very sensitive, okay, and the whole entire health system in Myanmar collapsed. People affected with COVID are left to die. So there is a Rotary Club, okay, who's our sister club, Rotary Club of Greater Yangon, okay, and their Rotarians are now all over. Some are based in, some are in Singapore, some in Hong Kong, okay, everywhere, but only a handful of them left behind in Myanmar. And for those who are outside Myanmar, they are not able to go back. But even though they are away from Myanmar, they never forget their duty, they never forget their role as a Rotarians to serve the communities. So they have, what do you call that, they have done so, they try to do something to make the change to save lives in Myanmar. For the last 3 months, they have raised sufficient funds, okay, to donate 100 units of oxygen concentrator, and that makes a difference. And now with the insufficiency of the oxygen concentrator, now there is a serious shortage of medicines, okay, and masks as well as PPE. So through this Mandarin conference, we are raising funds for them. And so far we have got quite, good support from China and as well as Taiwan, okay, and from Singapore as well. So we hope that, from our district, we can do something to change life in Myanmar. Unfortunately, I couldn't share the screen, but I will be getting the help from the district, okay, to circulate those brochures, okay, and thank you very much.
Siti, can I just say something to add to what PP Edward has said?
Yeah.
I think it's very important for all of us to support this Mandarin conference because, as he quite rightly said, one of the very large demographics untapped by Rotary in our district are the Mandarin speakers in many, many pockets around the country. And there are many, many, especially the smaller towns, that we can get to if we charter Mandarin speaking clubs there. So I appeal on behalf of the organizing committee as well, that even whether you're a Mandarin speaker, you're not a Mandarin speaker, sign up, register for the conference, and give it your wholehearted support. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Siva. And I think that's also an opportunity at the Mandarin conference that now that we know that it's kind of international based, where clubs who are looking for international partners, for your global grant projects, this is a time for you to connect to all these clubs. We need to look beyond for those things. And I'm sure there will be many clubs or many districts who look forward to building relationships with us through projects. I think that's what we need to do. Use these platforms to garner those kind of supports where the projects can be done in our own country, because there's a lot of things that we can do collectively. On that note, I also like to just do a little announcement that our next Fireside will be in January. And that we will be it's sort of a fireside come grants management seminar, especially for our road tractors and all those clubs who have not qualified and who wants to do global grant. Because now RI has allowed road tractors 1st of July next year to participate in global grants, but they first need to partner with a Rotary club. So Rotary clubs, if you are having any global grant projects in mind with your club, do invite your Rotary club to be involved with your global grant project at this initial stage, because then they will be able to appreciate what the foundation is, what projects we can do on a larger scale, so that we can get more hands. As you know, RI has already, our membership growth has already exceeded, I think 1.2 now is recorded as what? 3 million already, including the road tractors. So bearing in mind, road tractors is part of Rotary. So let's rope them in, and global grant projects is something that we can kickstart to bring them into the fold. So in January, we will have another Fireside, but we'll focus on global grant, especially hands-on application. How do you really apply, or those who want to apply global grant? Any other, anybody who has got any other?
Just one final thing, Siti, right? Those of you who are planning to give to the foundation annual giving, you're planning to make a contribution, I appeal to you to make the contribution by the end of December, because if you do it by the end of December, then that will benefit our district in that DGE, Dr. Krishna will be able to receive whatever incentive the foundation is giving to him. And so I appeal to you to make that contribution between now and December. Thank you.
I think Dr. Krishna is by 5th of December, isn't it, Krishna? The Thai, Hazel have told, 5th of December.
They asked to give by latest by end of December, but
End of December,
we plan to give earlier so that you can book your ties.
Okay, yeah.
If you
Thank
give later, you might not get the ties.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to as soon as possible. Yeah.
Thank you, Siva, for promoting that. DG and Siva, thank you.
You're welcome, DG.
Yeah. Okay. I think this year DGE, I think you will have quite a bit. We have PDG Liu enough to cover quite a lot there. PDG
Thank you, PDG
Arasu,
Liu.
anything that you would like to share with us? You are happily chewing your dinner or your tea time. No?
The wise
Anyone
man
else?
of the wise man of the district.
Kacang.
Yes, yes,
Kacang.
yes. Yeah. Any Rotarians who would like to share their thoughts on TRF before we wrap it up in another few minutes? No? Okay, if not, thank you very much once again. And thank you to our speakers today, PDG Dato Jimmy Lim, PP Edward Koo from the Endowment Committee of TRF, DGN Dato Siva, who is our chair for annual fund, and of course our PDG Leo for major gift, our major gift advisor. And once again, congratulations, PDG Leo. Thank you so much for your generosity.
Thank you.
To the foundation. And everyone, have a blessed day. Stay safe. And please continue to give. Yes,
thank
Siva?
you for organizing this fireside. So I propose on behalf of everyone here a vote of thanks to you. Thank you, Siti.
Thank you.
Vote of thanks.
Thank you, Siti.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, PGCT.
Thank you, everyone. Please continue to give and support our foundation.
Thank you to the speaker
Good
and the chairman. Thank you.
Thank
Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you, everyone.
How do you press the red button?
What are you doing?
Where is Dr. Bernard? Huh? I thought he's the host.
No, he has to run to the clinic every now and then. Yeah, yeah. So he's just hosting it from his clinic. Okay. So
I think you have achieved the objective. Our primary objective here should be like what Siva and Leo said, to motivate every Rotarian to give, get the habit of giving. Many Rotarians don't see the need to give. You should understand that every Rotarian should give at least what he can. There's no fixed amount, but it's not the amount you give, it's the passion, the desire to give.
And the habit of giving.
Habit of giving, that you want to give to your ability, whatever you can give.
Because in the past, I noticed, I go through we have always club who never give even $1. And these are the club who want district grants.
They shouldn't think of what
it.
You shouldn't think of what will come back to me. It's not what will come back to me. It is I want to give for the sake of doing good in the world.
That's why I say this tabung is very good. You create the awareness that you give something. If not give something, your peer there, 100% giving this district.
Yeah, very good.
So that's why we want to carry on this habit. So if this year we achieve that 100% giving, next year we achieve another 100% giving with the other set of tabung. The following year, another 100. I mean, by then everyone will already be in this habit. So that's why we want, it becomes a habit. So we need to continue this in the next, and even like the tabung, we have already produced for the next 3 years. So it's already there. It's a matter of just getting the system going. So like I said, that is our district goal in the next 3 years, is for every Rotarian to give to the foundation. Even a little bit is okay. Because eventually, if everybody can do reoccurring giving, it's even better. So we don't have to do. So it's just this little ways of giving. Hopefully we can continue this same focus and achieve it in the next 3 years. Yeah. Okay, everyone. Good night. See you.
Good night. Good night, Dato Jimmy.
Take
Good
care,
night. Thank
Krish.
you.
I hope you're
Great
all okay.
presentation.
All okay.